Hello, hello, everyone. Hello. It is 5 o'clock, and we are just ready to get this conversation started. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Day 3 live, everyone. Let's get cracking. Let me invite my guests over to join us. I can't wait for this conversation. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Let's see. Yes. Aha. Hello. I see you, Zoza, coming right at you. And you are nice. I love it. Don't I love it? Let me see about adding the rest of this party. It's about to get cracking. Hi, Zoza.
Hello, hello, hello.
How are you, gorgeous human?
Just make sure, okay, yes, everything is, we can see each other. All right,
Yes.
so I guess.
Hi. How are you?
Hello.
Good to see
Hi.
you.
Hey.
I'm
Sorry.
just trying to add on the other amazing queens that we have joining us today. One heck of a power-packed conversation, and I can't wait to get started. So just bear with me as I add on the rest of the crew. Let me see.
Quick, Victoria, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
question. When people want to join in, should I just tell them to go to the School Symposium Instagram page?
Yes, school_medics, school_medics_.
Okay.
Yes. So invite the whole world. Zoza, you've got some fun here, some fun love here.
Thank you.
Yes. So let me see. I think I've invited on everyone. Gosh, we have so many amazing humans today. So, hi. Aw, good to see you. There's more. There's more from these amazing humans. Oh, we're not done yet. Today is going to be hot, hot. So let's pray that this internet will behave itself today. And
Fingers crossed for internet.
my dear, you have no, sorry?
I say to that.
Amen to that. You have no clue. Hi, Tade. Yes, we're trying to add you on, Tade. Yeah. So I've got Bariat in the house, Aemee Street in the house. We're waiting for Chimdi. Oh gosh, I don't think that see. Okay, so tech. I consider myself to be very tech savvy. However, this tech has been dealing with me. Oh. So please bear with me, ladies. We're going to have to do some dancing chairs here just to accommodate all this awesomeness. So I've been using this amazing new, well, maybe it's not so amazing, but anyway, this new app that allows you have, up to 10 people on a live at the same time. And it has been giving me a bit of trouble. So today I just decided, you know what? We are going to go the old-fashioned Instagram, YouTube live way. And now it's telling me I can't have more than so many people online. So it may very well be that we will be shuffling here. Yeah? It may very well be that we'll be shuffling here. So I am so grateful that you amazing ladies have taken the time to join this conversation. I've been getting news from people that they have been watching the conversations. I'm so grateful, everyone that takes the time to join these conversations, be part of these conversations. We appreciate you, and we love you, and we can't wait to see you on Saturday the 19th as we make our way to the Schools Symposium 5.0. I cannot believe it. So we have for a series of 4-day live sessions. I can't believe that we're already on day 3. I can't believe it. But glory to God. Hi Agaba, all the way from Rwanda. Hi Aemee all the way from Canada. We appreciate you joining on. So without further ado, ladies, can I let you introduce yourselves real quick? Is that okay? Can I start with Zosa? We'll go to Bariat. We'll go to Zainab.
Hi, everyone. It's awesome to be here. My name is Zosa Icha, and I'm the mind behind the Asah Bara brand. It's really amazing to be in a conversation that talks about skill and competency and moving away from like the traditional forms of getting through life and the traditional professional forms, because there is so much power in the new forms of getting through life. But let's not jump into the conversation too early.
I wanted to say. Okay, Zosa, thank you from the Asah Bara Torytown world. Bariat.
Hi everyone. So I'm Evelyn Abraxon, also known as Bariat.
Also known as Beautiful Chick.
Also known as the Beautiful Chick. I'm a beauty and food enthusiast. And honestly, I feel so excited. Anything Victoria is on, I'm glad and happy to be on it.
Aww. Mama.
We have come a long way.
Yes.
I'm happy to show it entrepreneurial advice here. So,
thank you for coming on board, sis. She has many other hats she's wearing. I mean, these ladies are all wear so many different hats. So that's why I'm not even bothering to read their bios today. Like, it's not possible to cover it all. So, Zainab, over to you.
Yeah. Hi everyone, my name is Zainab. I am a baker. I'm the head baker at Schools, where we make indulgent things. And being a part of this conversation is really something that I think is very inspiring to myself and to so many other people as well. Like those that said, from the traditional norm of you have to go to school, get this degree, get this, and then you would make it in life. Speaking about alternative ways that your skill can actually be a blessing to so many other people, and they will pay for it too in some cases. So I think that's really cool as well.
Well said, Z. So safe to say that the ladies on here and those that will join us shortly, Tade Craft and Chimdi, are people who are living their passions, are getting paid for it. So the theme, the overall theme for the School Symposium, for those who are joining us for the first time, the 5th School Symposium's theme is rethinking real student success.
I think it's just
About these internet guys, they're not going to get me today. I've been praying on this one. So, yeah, so I've been kabashing on it. But I was just saying that the theme for the School Symposium 5.0 is rethinking real student success, emphasis on real, REAL. And during the first live, Mrs. O, head of Six Hands, so Mrs. O the junior, Um, she came up with an acronym for real, relevant, engaging, student agency, and lifelong learning, which I think works perfectly. We are on this live series, particularly focusing on today, particularly focusing on real student success in terms of skills and competency-based education. Hi, Chimdi, I see you. We'll have you on in just a little bit. We're doing um, dancing chairs or Instagram chairs. So we'll have you on in just a bit. I have Chimdi on ready to go as well as Tade. So really quickly, I'll ask one or two questions before we have the other guests come on. But we're focusing on skills and competency-based education because, as you all know, we've all passed through the Nigerian education system. And the focus is always on you're going to be an engineer, you're going to be a doctor. Maybe if you have liberal parents, you're going to be a lawyer or you're going to be an accountant. And some of you here are. Some of you here are those things, but you're doing so much more. I think in terms of real student success, it's really, really important to let our children be able to understand that there is a world beyond that cookie cutter career pathway. So that's what we want to discuss today. So my first question to all three of you ladies before we switch gears to the next guest. So I'll ask two questions. Number one, I'll ask the same question and all three ladies can chip in. How can skills and competency-based learning better prepare our students for success in today's job market, especially within the Nigerian context? How can skills and competency-based learning better prepare our students for real success in today's job market, especially within the Nigerian context? Zainab, do you want to go first, and then Bariat, and then Zoza?
I'm going to try and take it. So, remember when COVID hit and COVID exposed the world that, exposed to all of us in the world that you really don't have to be in an office to be productive, whatever sphere or area you are working. So, another thing that I believe is, I think during the period of COVID, my husband actually told me about a article called The Future of Work after COVID. Yes. So that actually exposed so many people that read the article, and the way it affected me was like, look, in the future, a lot of the things we go to school to learn become obsolete. At some point, and we can even see like AI is taking over many aspects and areas of the job market. So things like accounting, economics, different areas, even medicine will become obsolete in a couple of years. And so what the article was actually speaking about was only named on people to people communicative jobs. You understand? Examples, people in the food industry, making specific things. You're looking at psychiatrists, psychologists, occupations and careers that would actually involve person to person or people to people. So now we're looking at Nigeria now, for example, in the economy that we are in right now. I don't even think that up to 10-20% of organizations are hiring. However, we have students that are coming out of universities. We have students that are coming out of colleges. Exactly. The unfortunate thing with Nigeria is we do not have things like trade school where people can actually go and specifically learn particular skills and put what they are going to into the community that we are in. However, when people develop skills, for example, Zola is amazing at arts and crafts. Bariat in the beauty industry, I'm a baker. These are things with the minds that we have, the things that we put out there, the machine cannot do it. But that's very difficult relevance, especially in a country like Nigeria right now. Right? So I actually believe that we develop this skill to school. Get a degree. I'm actually a lawyer. I've been called to the bar. Once financing my bank is good. You understand? Yes, I've been called to the bar. As a lawyer for a few years, but what is actually feeding me and helping me as an individual is what I do with my hands. And I think those are amazing at arts. Bariat makeup, I believe, believe everybody
And
got a PhD
food.
industry, but I hope I'm not limiting you. That is a skill that we have all developed over time, and I dare say still developing. If not anything, I know Victoria very well, I know Dula very well, and we are never satisfied with where we are. And another thing we develop with having skills is pick a skill that you are passionate about, because then you are eager, you are thirsty to do more, to be more an impact in your environment or your society or your community. If you look at this, now bring it into Nigeria, we don't have so many jobs, but we have people who are going to come out of university in a couple of months, in a couple of years. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So if we have people who are coming out of universities who are still learning, makeup, nails, arts, life creating, software, I feel like the skill market is endless. You understand?
Yeah,
I actually was speaking to a person who had a degree in sociology but doesn't have makeup. However, he's fantastic at organizing. He's fantastic at
My sister,
putting things together.
are you
You
seeing?
can just open an Instagram account for yourself with your handy dandy.
Have you seen people in our country who have PhDs in the sciences and no jobs?
Yes.
Yes, Evelyn. Bariat, what's your take on this?
I mean, it's unfortunate, our location. People who have such amazing degrees, PhDs, and they cannot use what they have spent years and money to acquire.
Yeah.
I met somebody has said to me that she met an Uber driver who had a PhD in history.
Wow.
You want to bring it back, people with PhDs and all that, if you want to stick to what they do, they end up in teaching in school. For me, having that kind of degree is beyond that. It takes you are able to do it than that. But our environment, unfortunately, doesn't help them, and not everybody has the financial strength to travel out and do something using what they have.
Even with those who travel abroad. So, Barry, what's your take on this? Because you see, you're an accountant, and yet you work not just in one creative industry, 2, 3.
So I think I would say what's really is that my teenage I want to have that my mom was not someone who taught a child to nurture. However, my mom took that my child is a different world. So when she was sent sending her around, I'll help her do the accounting, I'll keep the records for her, she gave me the money while I was her accountant.
Wow.
I didn't so I was strive on that, I learned how to do the basics. From doing that, it was nurturing me into becoming.
So it wasn't through the school system, but it was how parents.
Think that having kids, something extra, is demeaning. I was thinking to the bank, how can you be? Do you get what I'm saying? Honestly, I have no desire in account. I'm passionate about is what is sustaining me. And what am I passionate about? I'm passionate about food, and I'm passionate about beauty. Yeah, I went to if you don't go to school, there are some things you're lacking. What I'm saying.
Yeah.
To run your business is different from someone who has money. Even though some people are just some people are just to do. So I feel like early exposure taught me a lot about
entrepreneurship, it taught me about financial management and interpersonal skills.
Yeah. So the kind of parenting that your mom gave you was a big part of the preparation, but then also your formal education as an accountant helps you be a better entrepreneur. So it's not wasted. It's not like one
You know,
without the other.
I feel like skills from the skills, like you said, the skills I have, they're like the backbone of Bariat.
Exactly.
They're the backbone of how I'm able to, like, people are shocked. A lot of people, so I have this ability to solve that.
He's also an entrepreneur, right?
Like the brain, my content and all of that. I want to tell them, oh, I do my content myself. Really? No. Skills. It boils down to skills.
Yeah.
You don't just think that everything is in the classroom. You can gain that.
So, Zosa, do you feel like you have any preparation at home? Do you feel like it was your education or your parenting, your the way your parents raised you that prepared you for so the kind of success that you have? And just to be clear, I mean, Bariat, for example, let me even just go back there. Bariat owns her own. Because if you don't know what Bariat is, you need to search for Bariat, then you understand. She owns a cosmetic brand, right? She's not just a makeup artist, not just a makeup brand, but also a beauty products, whole line of beauty products, you know. So we're not just talking of people who just do this as a side hustle, right? We're talking of people who are actually really exceeding boundaries within their field, right? So Zosa, do you feel like the kind of parenting that you have? Because with education, we're constantly going back. Whose baby is it? Whose responsibility is it? If we're going to teach skills and competency-based education, is it parents? That is it the way you parent? In Baria's case, she just said, it was primarily the fact that her mom already told her in that line, gave her opportunities to do it in her own business. In other cases, to say it's the school's responsibility after all. We're not teaching them morals or values. Anything more than morals and values, the school should be able to take on and create those opportunities. Parents don't have time in the modern world. Or it depends on the child. Some children are just gifted that way, other children are not. What's your take on that, Zosa? Do you feel like it was one of those, three, or was it a combination? What do you think charted the course for you to be the entrepreneur that you are today, the successful entrepreneur that you are today?
Thank you. And I like squeeze it into like.
I know.
I think believe that children are successful adults today. I think the roots is in a lot of it has to do with parenting. If you weren't parented properly and managed to succeed, it was a parent that helps to balance that God designed any human being to grow up unassisted, unaided, unguided, unsheltered. I would say that the way I was raised had quite a lot to do with where I am right now. And I'll tell this short story. At the point when I was about to go to university, I had appointments in a number of places. And one of those, growing up, I saw my dad. My dad is an architect.
Okay.
All sorts of things, just follow him to the side sometimes. And at home, he would be making these little things with his hands. And I had that hand thing too. So I used to bother him a lot. I was always following him around the place. And time came for me to go to university, and Covenant University had given me admission for architecture. And I had been doing this search for, oh my God, what am I going to do with all of this? I guess I have to be an architect. I have to be an architect. There's nothing else for me to be. And so
Yeah.
but architecture to be the box. So I had admission to architecture, and one evening I was driving into the compound, and I was on the balcony on the veranda with an easel set up, and I was painting. And he drove back, waved at me, way back. It was just like 3 days to go for me to go to Covenant University. And so he drives into the house and he comes to me and he said, you know what? You're not going to Covenant University. If you're going to go become an architect, it's going to hold you. It's going to you'll be small.
Wow. That is powerful. Oh my goodness.
And
Wow.
I forget
Wow.
the experience. And we started this again before we discovered that there was a course called industrial design. And then
Wow.
what offer industrial design in Nigeria? Because father wasn't going to let any of us go abroad for first degree, and AU was the school in Nigeria that had industrial design, and
Yeah.
that's where I ended up. And so I think my parents were applying with art to our development and to our schools, and
Yeah.
for not saying must tell me the house. And he's like, I beg go and do something else. You know,
Wow.
so the way.
That is so powerful, and it reinforces what Zainab said. And I think Bariat said the same thing. You know, many times parents don't want their children to do it to suffer. Do you understand? Nigerian parents, we've now really developed this bougie idea that your child shouldn't lift up a finger. They shouldn't do anything but just be pampered, just be taken care of. They shouldn't be involved in your work. That's kind of suffering. That's menial labor. That's beneath your child. You suffered it, so they shouldn't have to. You've delivered them from that.
Good echo. Holes. We learned how to take measurements and things. We used to the sites, the workers would be on the site and we would be climbing things, exploring these sites. And I remember very vividly, my mother didn't live with us for so long. I mean, we lost her while we were really little, but I remember seeing her painting things. She made our wardrobes and our cupboards and things like our playroom. She built it with her hand. So being exposed to that also helped recognize that okay, you have this. So I had it my father's side, I had it from my mother's side.
Wow.
And so this is
this is the genetic nurture side of things, right? That's the nurture and nature argument. But that's really powerful. That's something I didn't know about you, Zosa. And I can see Bariat smiling and I can see Zainab smiling as well because I think you ladies have something in common. But that's a discussion for another day. But thank you so much for sharing that take because yes, there's that element of parenting that we cannot take away. So I hope that the parents out there are hearing this. Schools are not trying to shirk the responsibility, but you have the a big part to play in seeing and picking up on those talents that your daughter has. Case in point, my husband, my daughter is very artistic. I am not. I am not. And neither is he. We can't draw to save our lives. But she loves to color. She wants to be a fashion designer. And my husband is like, my friend, will you stop that? You better go and learn how to make proper money. Yeah.
Refine their practical skills.
Yes, yes.
Whether it's tech, makeup,
yes, yes. Yeah.
What can come out.
You can never tell. You can never tell who would have known for some children who can tell, I mean, I've actually known Zainab a really, really long time. We went to like upper primary, primary school together and then secondary school together. I know. And I would never have guessed that she could do such amazing things. Like this woman can bake, like the things that she can do with. I'm not a fan of like icing. I don't like to eat icing. I don't really have that much of a sweet tooth. But when you taste her I don't know I don't even know if you can call that icing because it's not even icing. It's like chocolate, like white chocolate. It is on another level. And yet she's a lawyer. So that greatness that is hidden, that that God has deposited in each child, each person. We look at them like children, they're just being kids and playing. But you never really know what the greatness they are capable of. Ladies, are halfway through the session, and I have Chimdi eagerly waiting, Tade eagerly waiting to join the conversation. Thank you so much for your take on this. I'm so enamored to appreciate. But I want to share some big before I let you two ladies, three ladies go and then I bring on the next two. First and foremost, those are you want to say something? You want to say something?
Well, actually,
Let it.
it's also a privilege to announce that the Asah Bara studio is partnering with this amazing school symposium.
Drum roll, everybody.
Part of Asah Bara live and direct to the event this Saturday. Our experience and the other will
Yeah.
be Storytown will be Schools Symposium. And we're looking forward to
Yes.
showing parents present and school leaders present that this is what creativity in motion looks like.
Yes. Yes.
It's an opportunity to show them that when you think about being an artist, you're not talking
Yes.
about struggle, hunger, guitar, carrying
Exactly.
no.
Exactly.
It takes a lot to put art together. And the school leaders, parents, everyone present, especially if your parents of creative children,
Yes.
there's a point now that says, okay, this is how good the future can be. So we're
Yes.
looking forward to working hard for it, and we can't wait.
Ooh, we can't wait. We can't wait. We've been wanting to do work with Asah Bara and Torytown for so many years now. So we prayed on this, we hoped on this, and we're so thankful to make it happen because I'll tell you what, there's no performance art, and I don't know what they call that kind of art, or those are those. But there's no performance art company. That one, at least I know that much. There's no performance art company on the level of Torytown right now. There really isn't. What you do is truly amazing. I had an experience, and Zainab may actually be able to relate to this with theater. I told Zosa in secondary school, and it was like an epiphany. So I think every child should have an encounter with God. Yes, very important. But I think every child also, yes, one teacher is also partnering with us. Hi. On the teach meet. So every child should have an encounter with greatness firsthand, the firsthand experience, because that experience opens so many doors. It opens their minds to the possibilities. So Asah Bara is going to be at the school symposium live, and it's free. Oh, hey, as in, hey, if you are not making your way to the school symposium on Saturday, I'm telling you, honestly, every school should be lining up to have Asah Bara, that children encounter Torytown. Honestly, you owe it to your children to let them experience performance art and theater. It's teaching them culture. You know, like, okay, let me not even start with my soapbox right now because I can't even shout. If you don't understand the assignment, I can't say anything else to you. So tell somebody that Torytown is coming live to the school symposium. But I'm only going to be there a short time, oh, so you snooze, you lose. Over and out to you, Zosa. Thank you so much. Mwah. Oh, and Bariat is also going to be coming through to the school symposium. Aemee Street is coming through. So you know what it is. You know what it is. Thank you, ladies. I'm going to let you go. Yes. Have a lovely evening. And let me bring Tade and Chimdi on. Good night, ladies. Thank you. Bye. See you on Saturday. Oh my gosh, I'm having way too much fun with this. I tell you, I tell you. So let me add these other ladies on. Thank you so much for your patience. So, ladies, you guys can exit the room so I can let them on. Yes. Bye. Yeah. Oh, I have to take you guys out. Ah, okay. Ah, there we go. Bye. Okay, okay. So let me bring on Tade Craft. Hi, Miss Vicky. I'm bringing on Tade Craft Pottery, and I'm bringing on the amazing Chimdi. Let's see. Yes, there we go. Hi, Tade. How are you? Hello. Good evening. Oh my goodness, you look so pretty. Oh, I love your background. That is so amazing. Thank you for your patience as we are doing, this Russian roulette. Ah. Oh, no worries. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt the flow of the conversation, but I could see that Chimdi was being so sweet to share that I had mentioned earlier on that. So, welcome, Tade Craft, a very modern Ladikwali. Yes. So, tell us a little bit about Tade Craft while we bring on Chimdi here. Yeah. Tell us a little bit. Hi, Chimdi. How are you? Good evening. It, it's spectacular. You ladies look gorgeous today. I feel like a tired old lady. Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that. But it's wonderful to have you ladies on. I mean, Chimdi, you're full on a celebrity now. You know this, right? You're full on a celebrity in the education circles, especially with the international community. But even much, much further beyond that, like people were telling me about this young lady who is accomplishing so much in her field. It's just phenomenal that someone so young is able to be an active part of governance and be so influential and accomplished. So we really celebrate you, Chimdi, for all that you represent, and we're really thankful that you took the time to be on here today. And our very own modern Ladi Kwali, Tade, we're so delighted to have you on. Tade, you're definitely going to be at the Schools Symposium on Saturday. Chimdi, I hope you can pop by. As well. But we're talking about skills and competency based education for future readiness. And it's a bit obvious why we've asked Tade to be on here because Tade is working in that space. But I'm really interested to know, Chimdi, because Chimdi, you could have picked any of the lives to join. We didn't care which one you would come on for. We just wanted to have you on. Why in particular, I'm curious, did this one speak to you? On skills and competency-based education.
Thank you so much once again. I'm very delighted to be here.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say that this is such an amazing program. I enjoyed listening to the previous speakers as well. My dear sis, Bariat.
No.
That was extra special for me.
Yeah.
But I'm also a huge fan. I have a lot of that work.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
So it's lovely to be here. I see some of my friends also in the house hiding
Yeah.
down. I am delighted. And I'll say that why this one particularly stood out to me is because I'm just genuinely passionate about education that empowers and education that prepares people to be relevant and to be able to compete globally and make their mark. And also in my own let me say schooling days, I did find not just in terms of my personal experience, but just seeing other people, I've seen that people are talented in different ways.
Yes.
You can find people who excel in the book smarts in terms of math and English and all that stuff. And then you find people who are extremely into other things like creative arts and stuff like that. Who says this is one particular type of success intelligence means that you have to fit into this particular mold. That's on one hand. On the other hand, is also the issue of finding a lot of brilliant people who have excelled in school, and then there's that transition when you come out of school and then you're faced in the real world, and there are just certain skills that are missing.
Yes.
Regardless of what you think this person may have made it.
Yes.
And it's something that I see also in terms of sometimes higher people. You sometimes see grades in terms of the skills that are required to get the job done. Things like some specific writing skills, or whether it's public speaking or things like that. You find that those things are missing. Someone is not a whole or full package without having all of this. So I really resonated with what this conversation was about, and I thought I'd like to sort of chime in.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I think one of the things that you've said, I think is really critical, and a lot of parents don't think about this. So I'm glad that you're saying this, because there is so much value in building a portfolio as a student. A lot of people say, you're tech inclined or you're science inclined, so just do fic and bio. That's all that matters. I think this is one of the criticisms that a lot of people. I'm not coming. Hello, let me say it loud. I am not coming for the A levels. Okay, calm down, all you British curriculum proponents. But this is actually, I know, I have to put a disclaimer. This is something that even the British government has tried to compensate for with the curriculum. The fact that the A levels, kind of an AS, narrows you down so much that you're not able to do much else. Once you pick those 4 subjects that you're going to do your A levels in, that's kind of it. So, like someone said, Chistom Ifya can do says we can't use one yardstick to measure the level of intelligence. And I don't really want to go into learning styles. Please understand. The whole learning styles thing, that theory has been debunked. Okay, so if you're one of those educators that's still holding on to that, please know that is no longer relevant. There's no such thing as this smart or that smart. Most of us have multiple intelligences. So the fact that you're gifted in certain areas does not mean that you're now one dimensional. I don't want us to mix that up. But we're making the case for a well-rounded education that gives you the opportunity to be able to explore, parallel pathways and different facets of yourself. So I'll give an example. My son, he's very engineering inclined. That's from when he was a baby, that's what he wanted to study. But recently, I was encouraging him, he's now in the 10th grade. I was encouraging him to please sign up for Model UN. And he's looking at me like I have someone growing out of my head. It's like, none of my guys are Model UN, it's just mostly girls and 1 or 2 guys. And I'm like, dude, listen up. This will help you round out your portfolio. And they recently just had a Model UN conference over the last weekend at the French school. And he did so amazing. He got the opportunity to develop public speaking, something he's never really done before. He got the opportunity to learn about, global politics, global issues, global trends, to define arguments. This is so unlike him. Like he's so engineering and math focused. But that opportunity, he enjoyed it so much and it gave him to develop aspects of himself that he hasn't really considered before. So I really appreciate you looking at it from that angle. But if you noticed, I didn't title this session vocational skills. Okay, you notice that, Tade? Because if I had used the word vocational education, there's so much stigma behind that word that once you say to parents, vocational education, so you're trying to say my child is more smart. That means you want my child to go and be a hairdresser. You want my child to go and be, not to say that there are no hairdressers that are making more money than most of us, right? But I think there's this stigma attached to vocational education. Nobody really, parents are like, is that what I spent all my money for? To send you to vocational school. What strategies, Tade, do you think schools and society can use to overcome the stigma around skills and competency-based education? As somebody who's in the creative arts, what do you think we could do to sort of get parents to be more open to it and not have this idea that, oh, you want my child to be
Right, right. Everyone and thank you for having me here. Like that, here everywhere.
it's a pleasure to have you.
All right. So, the question I would say design of the curriculum for people for the to say actually so it should be good. So the way it is presented to the parents actually because most times people all the time these children are not making decisions by themselves. Yeah. So I'm looking from the basic the foundation aspects. So I'm an advocate for children learning skills because even my family is of children actually children because I know the power that having skills, especially functioning the work that I do, I know the potential it has for giving real life satisfaction
Yeah.
and running the joy for them to stand out. So most times the people making the decision for these young champs are their parents.
Yeah.
So when schools are making incorporating education into their curriculum, it should be in a way that it stands out to parents.
Yeah.
It should be not like we're trying to sugarcoat it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
to be straight to open their understanding to let them know that
Yeah.
there is
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
there is actual skill that the society needs. There is
Ah.
need in the society. And
Yeah.
when it comes to nutrition, learning is evaluated based on practice. Unlike formal education that you can program,
Yeah.
call it by repetitive,
Yes.
rapport.
Yeah.
You can program
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Bring this point to
Yeah.
parents that say, you are trying to downgrade your child.
Yeah.
You are only trying to sharpen their creativity.
Yeah.
You are only trying to sharpen their minds.
Yeah.
For them to open their minds
Yeah.
to see, okay, what exactly do I want to do?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically it's about the, chil- the parents, teachers, and also, collaborating with all other
Industries.
industries.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
to design this
Yes.
curriculum because
Yes.
everything starts with curriculum, but it
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
end after they are done with the curriculum,
Yes.
there's the
Yes.
that
Yes.
is meant to be solved. So,
Yeah.
all these stakeholders design this curriculum and also, the people that are actually
Yes.
responsible for the curriculum
Yes.
And all of that, because most times that what we saw that sometimes I have the students who perfectly, it's always like, oh, she's always she wants to do a whole lot of things and all of that. But then she came to country class and this girl, I realized that she actually has a broad mind, like she wants to do a lot of things. But then when she channeled in 2 hours that she channeled to creating something, she did. And she is excited in what she has done. In fact, sometimes she doesn't want to go. You understand? So most times everybody will think white collar jobs actually white. But not really quite like that, because we really need to solve real world problems, and this is what we should do.
Tade, I think you've spoken so beautifully. I mean, you've said some really, really powerful things about the future of the job market. And I'll come to say a bit more about that. But I love the fact that you talked about the future of the job market. Bariat was just commenting that, with how, well, we call it a VUCA, the technology is a VUCA world, meaning that it's volatile, it's unpredictable, it's complex. So we have to be much more agile in our approach to education. You also mentioned performance-based assessment, right? I love that because we are so focused on this exam mentality, like you said, copy paste, and that is actually not real learning. So I do a lot of training. This is one of the things that we talk about: how true learning, deep learning. You see a lot of Nigerians passing exams, but then you can't see them actually applying innovation and creative solutions to the society. I think that's one of the failings of our education system. But a performance-based assessment system forces the children. We're always talking about project-based learning. That's project-based learning, forcing the children to be able to demonstrate learning in meaningful ways, in ways that integrate art, integrate technology, integrate basically competence, for lack of a better word. So I love that you said that, Tade. The third thing that you brought up that really caught my attention, and I don't know if we'll have time to talk about it, is this focus on gadgets. I mean, hey, we are. I wish to talk about it. Did you guys see the series on Netflix, Adolescents? Did you see that series on Netflix, Adolescents? Ha! My dear, if you haven't watched Adolescents, please go and watch it all. Seriously, even if you don't have children yet, please help us watch it. And we were talking about it on yesterday's live as relates to social and emotional learning. You might have caught up on that. But the really important point I was trying to make is that our children are growing up in a world where they have more access. One of the speakers yesterday said, our children have more access to devices than we do now. They are constantly hooked to a phone, constantly hooked to a tablet, constantly hooked to a laptop. And it's a form of addiction that is actually affecting their brains. So the thing that I love about what you said today is that being able to focus on skills and competence-based education. Listen, I'm actually a proponent of technology integration. I train on technology integration. So I'm not saying do away with technology. We can't dispense with it. It's absolutely critical to the future job market. But we also don't need our children to be addicted to the screens and not be able to use their hands, because what that does for you when you're able to connect with skills that require you to build, to use your hands, to be creative, it's very therapeutic. It brings out another side of you. I was going to ask a really important question, Chimdi, about the future of the job market. From your perspective, being in government, what do you see as one of the most in-demand skills and competencies for future jobs, locally and internationally? Do you feel like you have a sense of the where the job market is going for our students, for our children?
Thank you very much for that question. I was enjoying the conversation. I almost forgot I was also supposed to speak. So, in terms of the future of work, there are different, job paths and career paths that a lot of people would probably come and say, this is the next big thing, whether it's in the tech field, data analytics, and so on and so forth. But I rather would look at it from the point of view of the skills or the mindsets that will allow people to be more competitive, in the future of work. One of those things is adaptability. Anybody who doesn't have the ability to be adaptable, flexible, and to have a growth mindset, not do so well in the future of work because things are dynamic, things are changing, and people who succeed are those who are able to see the trends and who are able to make things work. So that's what I feel should be the focus, and that's really why I like skills education and training, because the way I look at it, skills when young people learn skills, it's not just to say that I know how to pottery or bake. That process of skill actually allows them to take certain skills away. So there is learning a skill, and know how to learn a skill.
Okay, Chimdi, say that again. There's a skill in learning a skill. Come on now. So true. Yes.
So the ability to apply yourself, the ability to pay attention to detail, the ability to be able to people to see the beauty in what you're doing. All these are necessary things that you will
I don't think our audience is hearing what you're saying, because if they were hearing what you're saying, they'll be this place will be catching fire. I mean, you are preaching, girl. You are preaching. There is a process involved in learning. They are unlearning, relearning. They are having to demonstrate patience, flexibility, resilience, confidence, learning to fail, and persisting. You're preaching. It's not just the end goal of what you're able to produce and monetize. It's being able to walk that course, and that gives you the ability to replicate it in other situations. Changing Kindi. I can see, I'm believing the hype now.
you summarized it, very well for me. Thank you. Really, that's what it is. And, I feel like the focus should never be on the end product, even for some of our parents who are here, because life is, like I said, things would always evolve. When I was in ICS, I wanted to be in the hospitality industry. I wanted to open, hospitality things, restaurants, and stuff like that. And I probably will still do that later on. But that when I was in that bakery in secondary school, or I was, being there at Bariat selling makeup, all these different things, those same skills are the skills that I got in my, career today. Because all those processes of engaging with people, negotiating with people, learning how to read the room, emotional intelligence, and things like that are the same building blocks that you continue to build on, across your path in life. And I really appreciate my parents, because even when I was graduating, they said I wanted to go to culinary school. I didn't go to culinary school for some short courses, even though I didn't study as my full degree, and that was eventually my choice. But when I was interested in pursuing it as my full degree, they gave me the support. They said, just go on and be the very best chef the whole world has ever seen. That continues to teach me is that what we should be teaching is that young people should aspire to be excellent, to have that growth mindset and excellence mindset in whatever they do. Because whether it's applying it to teaching, whether it's applying it to being an astronaut, whether it's applying it to being the president of the country, you still need those skills.
Girl, let me tell you, y'all have scattered my dairy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like the way you phrase that, just like it just was like a moment for me. Really, you know these things, but sometimes it needs to be enunciated. I think just the skills that you learn in the process, which is why it's so important for you to aspire to be excellent. Yes, that's important, you know, but the learning process, the stretching process, you know, that goal, you know, was sort of embarking on a quest to become something, whether it's an athletic competency, whether it is, you know, a culinary skill. Let our children have the opportunity to aspire to be excellent in one competence or one skill or another. It doesn't matter exactly what their competence or skill is, whether it's athletic, musical, artistic performance. It's the journey and the experiences that they learn from failing and succeeding. Nobody can take that away from them. So we're almost out of time, but there's one last question that I have to ask because I think this is so tied to so the school symposium on Saturday. It's a full day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And during the course of that time, so you can come in at any time that matches what part of the agenda interests you. First, we have the school leaders at 10 a.m. And interestingly, the topic for our focus for the school leaders launch is on industry institution partnerships, which is something that you actually alluded to, Tade. And I'll come back to that in just 1 second. We also have the teach meet from 11 to 1:30, which is basically a session for educators and teachers, and that's focusing on curriculum and looking at ways we can rethink the curriculum to focus on real future success in terms of the current job market or the future job market from a teacher's perspective, which you also alluded to. So curriculum is important. We have to keep rethinking it, reshaping it, stretching it, interpreting it. It's active and it's live. And then finally, we have for the first time the Entrepreneurs Enclave, which is basically a pitchathon where 13 to 17-year-olds will be presenting their businesses to potential investors and mentors. And we're so excited about that. And it's actually been so well received by parents, by some schools, because they realize that some of these children, like we said, have competencies that exceed what we currently are able to accommodate within the standard school curriculum and learning plan. So your child may not be medically inclined, and even if they are, they may have a business that has been growing or business they've been working on. Encourage them to take on that journey. Encourage them to write out a business plan, apply to present, and pitch, you know, that business idea to this panel of investors. So my final question to you ladies, both of you, is what role do industry partnerships play in competence-based education from your perspective? Really quick. Tade, we can start. Industry school partnerships, what role do they play in competency-based education?
All right. From the lens of the industry specialists, partnering with actually be to, you know, working with the curriculum, it helps them to focus on actual aspects that each age group, you know, this group can fit in. And best, yes, best for the children, and also to design something actually that can accommodate their school period. It's really good. So that you don't bring poultry and in term they couldn't complete more. So you're coming, you're introducing artistic stuff into the curriculum. You can say, okay, in this country aspect, I just going to be doing glazing.
Yeah.
Doing glazing, we their creativity, their intuition, like, okay, I want to know more. For anyone that wishes to move further into it, and that goes for every other thing, maybe a part of coding, website design for. So it's actually going a long way because these are people that are actually in the field.
Exactly.
So that you don't just you don't have too much the curriculum just for the fun of it or to attract parents, because now school learning is advocating for vocational curriculum, and the school is doing it understand. So that's what industry experts we bring to
absolutely.
and also training of the teachers also, because we may not always be on board, but we can make jobs that we bring basic knowledge to the teachers and to dispense the key application.
So it will help the teachers upgrade their skills as well. Absolutely. Great points. Yeah, thank you, Tade. Chimdi?
Well, the good thing about going last is that someone has already done the work. So thank you, Tade. She's spoken to all the issues quite succinctly. If I was to add anything, essentially it would be to say that it's a win-win for everyone. It's a win-win for the students. It's a win-win for the industry. If we're training, people who have the actual skills that the industry needs at every given point in time. So one way for me is also how students can get opportunities to intern in some of these organizations from the jump, because it's something which I really believe in, that your CV literally starts counting from now. It's not even about what you put in it, but also the experience that you have, because that makes you more comfortable when you do graduate from school and start applying for jobs and so on and so forth. The second thing I would say is that when the industry comes into the conversation, it's easy to have a sort of baseline skill set that every student should have. And I think we need to start getting to that point where schools, have a list of, okay, before a student graduates, they need to have XYZ core competencies or skills, and I'm talking, soft skills. I'm talking about, things that make them competitive in the workplace. I think I gave some example earlier on, whether it's synthesizing information, how to write certain things, and so on and so forth. So finally, as I conclude, I would just like to say that, and I think you touched on this earlier when you talked about project-based knowledge. Learning, exactly. In law, we replicate something similar, because I'm a lawyer, and in our legal training, nobody comes and asks you for a contract. What happens is they paint a scenario: XYZ went to buy bread and did not pay, and blah blah blah, and then they ask you to advise. Now your job as law students is to break down what exactly is the legal issue in this scenario. Was there a law that was broken? Was there, and then you sort of solve the case, so to speak. So if you borrow that learning style in regular education, we have to contribute to what students are learning in scenarios, so that they can, get used to and using them on a day-to-day basis. So I would say that those are some of the ways we can help to move things to the next level. Thank you so much. I've had a wonderful evening.
Honestly, ladies, I'm just wowed. You just described something in education called situated cognition, and we don't even, there's no time for you to go into that. But ladies, you have done this topic justice, and I cannot wait to see you at the Schools Symposium on Saturday. Live and direct. Tade is going to be there, so get your children away from those screens and get them making pottery, or get them to come and what the other children are pitching at the entrepreneurs on this so they can get inspired as well. Um, I'm grateful for your time, ladies. It's been really, really talking to you. Yes, showing you some love, and we appreciate you. Have a wonderful evening, and hope to see you on Saturday. Bye, ladies. Have a great evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you, the other ladies. Bye. Bye. Well done, well done. Bye, everyone. Wow, amazing.